I'm in a place in my career where I get great opportunities that I don't really have to ask for. People come to me and they say, "Hey, I know this person. Do you want to do this big contract for them?" Or they're like, "Hey, like I have this other person. Can you do some work for me?" And I make around 11 or 12K a month. This is like my second or third year in business. I think second going on third. But if you are in a place where you want more opportunities, I want to tell you the one thing that changed my entire career, my entire trajectory. I've kind of always been like this, but I'm a giver first, right? So I'll do a lot of things for people and then they will come to me and say, "Hey, like what can I do for you?" I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to do this because sometimes it can feel really scary to give. Like there have been times within my first 2 years of business where either like my big client drops out, etc., like I don't have any money, or I felt really scared to give or to be that generous person, but I knew in the back of my head that it was going to play out well, right? This can be way harder if you have kids as well, so I will say that. I know you got to take care of you and your family first. Like you definitely want to be one of those people who takes care of themselves. But overall, there's a lot of different ways that you can give, and I just want to talk about what has worked for me. For anyone on this channel who's heard of Alex Hermazi, he talks a lot about lead magnets. And so even this piece of content that I'm giving you right now, like this is stuff that I had to learn. I had to go through to figure out is what is actually going to work, because there are things that I gave where it didn't work, or there were mindsets that I have that actually made my giving manipulative versus like purely from the heart. And that's the caveat with giving. You really have to give with nothing, like expecting nothing in return and just knowing that it'll all turn out okay, not knowing where it's going to come back. And it truly does. But yeah, I learned about lead magnets. So a lead magnet is kind of something that you give for free, like either a free trial, free offer, free piece of information that, gets people to trust you more when they actually do buy from you. Now, this is still like a percentage of people who's going to come in through this way, but I found it really, really helpful to do things for free for people without really expecting anything in return. And I've done this for the right people, and I've also done this for the wrong people. But the right people have given me 10x the return that the wrong people have ever cost me. So, an example of this is there is someone in Virginia. I was in the Charleston Accelerator program, which you can look it up. It's really cool. It's at the Harbor Entrepreneurship Center. And so one of the mentors there, I did I did free stuff for a few of the mentors, but one of them has been such a great business referral source for me. And while we were in the Harbor Entrepreneurship Center, I just redid his LinkedIn, right? Like I'm a LinkedIn person, worked for a 3-time New York Times bestselling author, revamped his whole profile, got his impressions from 170K a month to 485K a week, right? So I have authority in the space as well. So I was like, here, take this. It took me 10 minutes because I have the experience, right? But he was really grateful. And then from then on, he kind of mentored me, and he's been a really, really great source of business for me. Other things is if we're out for a meal, a lot of times I'll pick up the check. I'll buy people free tickets to events, networking events. There's just a lot of things that I do for people, just like little thinking of you things. The other day as well, I'm working in a company and they're having a little bit of trouble in this one part of their sales process. So I suggested, why don't we make it a great experience for them? Like, why don't we buy them a coffee beforehand? Now, these are virtual things, so we just send them a $10 Starbucks gift card. I paid for this with my own money just to try it out. But that's an example of like the free things that I give. Whenever I get a referral as well, if someone doesn't want to take money, then I'll do free work for them. There is a lot that I do just to be generous, just to give, and to build that reputation and that muscle of being giving. Now, the mistake that I made when I was younger was I would give to get. And now it's funny because I give to give and I get. Before it was like the times where I would get was when I was just giving because I was interested. Like that's how I got my second job. I had this blog. And so I think of like blogs and podcasts as great opportunities to give attention to people, to give people, hey, like I see what you're doing and that's amazing. But there was this one woman, Denise Hampson, over in the UK, who was really into behavioral psychology. And I literally wrote a blog about every single one of her blog posts just because I was interested, just because I was like, wow, I'm learning so much from this person. She ended up hiring me and I got like a 7,000 pound pay rise from the job that I had before. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And it was all because I gave attention without expecting anything. But maybe some advice, and like we had been going to coffee and yoga together already, but I just thought that she was amazing and I didn't really expect to get a job out of it, but it came, I think, because I didn't expect anything. So in summary, definitely be generous, definitely give. Like, it is something that has worked out really well for me, and even if you're scared, even if you don't trust people, you don't really have to trust people to trust that you can be a generous person. Don't overextend. Don't make it so then you are someone in need. Obviously, like, it has limits, but there are times in your business where you're going to have a scarcity mindset, and that $20 ticket to the networking event you're going to buy your friend feels like a lot. Just do it anyways. It's going to work out in the end. All these little things aggregate and they're going to end up paying off really well for you. Or at least they did for me. I have seen it work time and time again though. Like with BNI, that's like a networking group that I go to. The first principle is giver's gain. Alex Hormozi talks about the law of reciprocity, which is a principle from Robert Cialdini, who's over at the University of Arizona. And he talks a lot about reciprocity, how it increases the amount that you're paid. It increased tips for waiters. Really, any industry that you're in, giving is going to help you gain in the long run, even if it doesn't happen right away. But the most important thing is you can't just give to get. It's not going to be a one-for-one. So adjust your expectations. If you give to someone, give with your heart. Be just a generous giver. Be a cheerful giver, as the Bible says. And yeah, I really think things started truly working out for me when I adopted that mindset. I've always been giving, but obviously when we're younger, like I said, sometimes we give for the wrong reasons. It's totally fine. We expect like a one-to-one. That's manipulation. So avoid that, but give to give, and yeah, things are going to work out well for you.